Hey fellow backyard boys, Nick here. You might have noticed that in a lot of my videos I shoot off the hand, meaning that the bows I use don't have an arrow shelf or an arrow rest. And it's more personal preference than anything. I personally like shooting without a rest. When I would make wooden bows, if I was making them for myself, I wouldn't put a rest on them just because I prefer to shoot off the hand. And I've set up my arrows and I've gotten used to shooting off the hand so it doesn't bother me. But I know for a lot of people, shooting off the hand can be uncomfortable, painful, and sometimes damaging. And there are gloves on the market for shooting off the hand, and there are special aids and different things you can do. So today I'm going to show you a simple one. It's pretty easy to do. It's a simple hand guard. Now this one's made out of leather. The way it works is when you grip the bow, the arrow will actually be resting on top of this rather than directly on your hand. So the first thing you're going to need is your material for the rest, or the hand guard. So I'm using leather today. This is really thin upholstery leather. This came off of an old couch. You could use heavier grades of leather. You could use vinyl. Denim from jeans works well. Any kind of heavy canvas works well. Really, you could use whatever you want for this. And basically what you want to do is you take your material and you want it to be 3 palms wide. This is going to be made for you, so we're using your measurements. And basically what I mean by 3 palms wide is 1, 2, 3 palms wide. So to cut your first piece, or to cut the main body of this, you want to take 3 fingers and place them on the leather or material like this. This is where you want to start your cut, with 3 fingers. And then you want it to diminish to 1 finger at the bottom. So the way I do that is I measure 3 fingers at the top, make a little cut. Then I go down to the bottom, measure 1 finger, make a little cut so I know where that goes. And then I just cut from the top to the bottom. So you kind of want this to be sort of a rounded taper as you get closer to the 1 finger thickness or width. Okay. So here we have our base piece. Let me take this off. Okay, so now what you want to do is we're going to be setting this up either for a right-handed or left-handed shooter. If you're a right-handed shooter, you want to put this on your left hand, and if you're a left-handed shooter, you want to put this on your right. So for a right-handed shooter, you start by placing this portion on the back of your hand. If you can see, you want it to set down about a finger length below your hand, like this. And you figure out where this is, and we're going to be cutting so that this will actually sit further up and give better protection to the back of your hand, as opposed to just sitting over your hand. This portion is unprotected. We're going to cut out a little bit of it so your thumb has a place to go and you have more protection here. Now the opposite is true if you're left-handed. You want to do the same thing. Figure out, about a finger's width hanging off the bottom, and this is where we're going to be making our cut, right in this section here. So I'm going to be doing it for me, so got it set up here. My thumb starts right here, so I'm going to cut this portion. You can see, so my thumb can set. So I just look, see where that is, and I just cut, go in about a finger and a half. You want to kind of round this cut. You can see that. And then you want to just go ahead and cut down to your bottom. Now if you want, for ease of adjustability, I like curving the bottom and just turning it into a sharp point here. You can see that. Just go and try it out one more time. So as you can see, that little cutout we made allows the thumb to have full movement, but there's that extra protection on the back of your hand there. So now what we do is I like to round the bottom so it's not so large. This is optional, you don't have to. Once you've rounded it, you go about, I would say, about ½ inch from the end and cut a slit. You want the slit to be as wide as your tab. So the way this works is you take the end, you put it through this little slot you cut, take your hand, place it inside, you line this up so that the cut you made goes right up against your thumb here, and then you tighten. So you might need to adjust it at first. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be cutting this little sharp tab off. Yeah, there we go. See that? As you can see, it's a nice smooth transition now. So you take this, tighten it up, bring it up, tuck it under itself in your palm, and then drop it down. And then you can straighten this out. And this will hold in place fairly well. So when you're ready to go, you can just pick up your bow, and it doesn't really interfere with your grip. You can still grip your bow fairly easily with this. Now you have a rest for your bow that's built into your hand. So you take your hand, grip your bow however you like. And this is going to become the rest. So you want this grip with your index finger to be fairly tight. This is going to be the tightest of all the fingers that it's going to be gripping. The rest can be fairly loose. Place your arrow. Now what you want to do is draw back. There you go. So there you go. And it's kind of nice because I didn't feel any of those shots on my hand. Alright, so here you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.